Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. BitBoy Crypto, who runs the second largest YouTube cryptocurrency channel on the entire planet with somewhere in the neighborhood of 1.2 million subscribers, has stated that he believes that based on current recent legal developments, Ripple will be settling with the SEC much sooner than later. And so there are clips of this widely circulating on social media, specifically on Twitter. And so what I did is I transcribed the relevant portion of this recent declaration that BitBoy Crypto has made. I want to share with you his perspective and then my perspective, because I'm privy to the same information that he is, and I do not come to the same conclusion as him. And so I'm going to share with you those thoughts, and then I'm also going to share with you comments from attorney Jeremy Hogan on this, who of course runs the very popular YouTube channel Legal Briefs, because he had a bit of interesting information to add to this, let's say. But I do want to be clear at the outset, I don't have a legal or financial background of any kind. I'm not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos, but just as a fun hobby. So that's all that's going on here, just to be super duper clear. And so what I'm referencing here is a clip that happens to be on your screen right now, which was shared by DAI. And it rolls as follows. And so I transcribed this so that in case I want, I can break it down along the way. But here's what BitBoy Crypto had to say. And oh, and by the way, we're talking about Slack information. For the sake of time, I'm just going to have to assume that you're caught up, at least to some degree, on some of the recent legal filings. The back and forth between the SEC. I've covered it all pretty thoroughly on the channel right here, but I can't have like a starting point of 0 for everybody with every video. So I hope that's okay. But anyway, moving forward. BitBoy Crypto said the following: "This Slack information, from what I'm being told, is the key to this entire case at this point. I want you guys to mark this down. I want you to hear this, and I want you to mark this down. No one else is telling you this. What is happening right now is all a ruse. Ripple asking if they can withhold certain communications. This is all part of an elaborate cover-up. What is going on? They are negotiating a settlement behind closed doors. What they're going to do is the SEC is going to point to marketing people within Ripple through Slack and say, see, these marketing people, they thought they could be marketing a security, so obviously it shows negligence on their part." So let me pause already. And also, to be clear, since I'm challenging an idea here, I know that sometimes people think that when an idea is being challenged that it's a personal attack on them, and that's not what's going on here. I actually really legitimately, very genuinely enjoy thoughtful debate, back and forth, sharing of ideas with thoughtful adults that just want to get to the truth rather than win an argument. And so I'm just sharing an idea here, but I don't want anyone to mistake this as some sort of attack on BitBoy Crypto. It absolutely is not. I appreciate that he's, pro XRP, sharing things the way that he sees it. I just happen to be looking at it from a different perspective. Now, as far as this idea of anybody on Ripple's marketing team expressing any potential concerns about a security, look, it's well understood that even in the early days, the highest Ripple executives were seeking legal counsel on whether or not XRP could be a security. And the answer ultimately was, well, the SEC could come and claim anything they want to claim, but it doesn't mean they'd be right in doing so, and it doesn't mean it's likely that they're going to do it. And on top of that, XRP does not meet the 4 prongs of the Howey test, so of course it's not a security. So that's always been the position of Ripple. They got their legal counsel, they moved forward, and that, in an ideal world, would have been that. But the fact that anybody within Ripple may express a concern is not an indication that Ripple is admitting, yes, we're doing something wrong. That definitely is not how this works. And so then his quote continues here. Boom, here's your slap on the wrist. And so again, he's referencing, just if Ripple were to just be like, hey, okay, marketing people, actually, just let me go back a sentence so that this flows better. What's going on there, negotiating settlement behind closed doors. What they're going to do is the SEC is going to point to marketing people within Ripple through Slack and say, see, these marketing people thought they could be marketing a security. So obviously it shows negligence on their part. Boom, here's your slap on the wrist, Ripple. Here's what you did wrong. Your company did believe on some level it could be a security, what you're selling. Here is a few $1 million fine. maybe a $100 million fine. This will be the key to the case. This will be in the ruling. This data from the Slack, and this is a ruse. And so, let me pause here. It seems to be the case that BitBoy Crypto thinks that Ripple and the SEC are secretly doing some sort of elegant dance that to us people that see it on the outside would appear different than the honest communication that is occurring behind closed doors. I personally don't think that's going to be. I don't think that is the case, and you'll see why as I go further. But I don't think that Ripple's attorneys would cede ground without some sort of finality in terms of settlement. I don't think that you're going to get some sort of acquiescence from Ripple on any sort of legal front. Unless it's already actually a done deal. And so the idea that Ripple is acquiescing to some degree to hopefully get something, and it's already some well-orchestrated dance, well, there's no actual evidence of that, and that much I am certain of. There's no evidence. So he's speculating. Now, that's fine. I don't mind if he's doing speculating, but I'm just saying, for me, based on the evidence at hand, not only is there not evidence, but I think that it would be, detrimental to Ripple's case to behave in such a way. I do not see that. And so then he states, Ripple is going along with this because they know that they're going to get a slap on the wrist. So to expedite things, they're saying, what do you want us to do, SEC? You want us to say, you want us to propose that we want to not give you the info, and then the judge say, yeah, give them the info? Yeah, that's fine. You want us to say that we want it sealed when really you want it sealed? Fine. Whatever it takes to play ball. That's how these things work. So this is going to end up being the key thing that is going to turn this. And I would actually say that probably the fact that this is picking up steam very quickly will probably get a much faster resolution to all this. And so that's fine. He's got his opinion. I look at the same information and I say, no, that doesn't compute to me. Because I don't see Ripple ceding ground without or admitting any sort of... Actually, I'm not convinced that they're ever going to admit fault, even in a settlement. Ripple, look, SEC will claim victory. Maybe Ripple will admit fault to some degree. I'd kind of be surprised, frankly, at this point. A lot of times in these settlements, you've been seeing, and but to be clear, the reason I'm saying that is because I've seen how a lot of these things turn out, and with these settlements, a lot of them, it's just in my experience in reading through this stuff that there's always notes in these articles when you read about there's no admission of guilt, there's some sort of settlement and this and that. And so if there's a settlement, I'm not sure that Ripple's necessarily, maybe they could, I'm not convinced that they're going to admit that there's anything wrong. But I am saying like this would be some serious legal misstep for them to like cede ground at any point, unless there's actual finality. But that, based on what's happened here, it doesn't seem to look like that at all. And certainly there's always an opportunity, and maybe there is some sort of settlement talk going on behind the scenes, but I don't see it. And so Jeremy Hogan saw that clip that I just transcribed and shared with you there, and he didn't come out and say yes or no, I agree with that. And so I look, and I'll be heavily persuaded by if Hogan were to specifically say his opinion on this. If I'm way out of bounds, I'm absolutely willing to be persuaded on this. I just find it really hard to believe that Ripple's giving up ground to do some sort of elegant dance because everything's a ruse and it's a conspiracy. Like, I have trouble with that. I am not a conspiracy guy. I'm just not. And so, which, by the way, isn't to say that they never happen in life, but the vast majority of time that there's a claim of such conspiracy in any aspect of life, the vast majority of the time, it's just not the case. There are rational reasons that we're just not privy to, and people are just doing what they're doing. And so Jeremy Hogan shared the following about this. He wrote, and this is on Twitter, he wrote, I can add this. Settlement of this case would be very complicated and could take months because Ripple's business model requires liquid markets, and therefore it's not as simple as we will pay X dollar amount. Settlement would require input from exchanges and third-party business partners. And so that's clearly in response to the final thing from that little snippet that I shared, because BitBoy Crypto says that signs are indicating things are picking up steam quickly, and, quote, we'll probably get a much faster resolution to all of this, end quote. And so Jeremy Hogan's just saying, probably not going to be sooner than later. So he's just kind of adding something to it, basically. And then there was this. An XRP community member named Stefan saw that from Jeremy retweeted it and wrote the following. Mr. Hogan, but I don't quite understand this argument when you thought a settlement was likely a few weeks ago yourself. I am pretty sure that this work has been made since months behind back doors. And Jeremy Hogan saw that, and he did respond. He wrote the following. He wrote, I was a little loopy last night. Months might have been overstated. My point was that a settlement of this case is not a typical easy thing to do. Talks might have started a few weeks ago and not worked out, or might be ongoing. We just don't know. Except BitBoy, smiley face. Yeah, BitBoy knows, the rest of us do not. No, but so Jeremy Hogan's just saying, okay, so he threw something out, he just said, yeah, it could take months, blah, blah, blah. He didn't literally mean months, and he's clarifying now. He means a longer period of time than what you might expect, or what BitBoy Crypto seems to expect. And then there was also this. Somebody named XRP Wing Commander Twaddle wrote to Jeremy Hogan, are you back to thinking your original timeline of tail end of this year / early 2022 is the most realistic scenario, Jeremy? And he simply wrote the following. This is Jeremy wrote, end of this year, yes. And so that's where we're at right now. So probably not hopes of this happening any sooner. As far as the reason for the little bit of the dance back and forth, as it's sometimes described here, the legal dance back and forth. The way that my brain works is if we don't know why something is happening, it doesn't mean conspiracies. Like, that's just not the direction my brain goes. It's like, oh, there's probably some logical reason that we're just unaware of. We're not privy to this information. But to think that we must be being tricked, like, no, that's not my starting point. Now, if there is, like, stuff like that can happen in life, I'm not pretending that it can't happen. Of course it can. But I'm saying I'm not going to believe that unless you have some sort of evidence. And I won't even think that perhaps it's possible if there's something, even just from an optics perspective, that would make it logical to think, maybe there is something here. And you can have stuff like that, like where there's smoke, there's fire, especially with things with Hinman and this and that. The optics are bad. It's like there can be things that are going on that we're not privy to. Of course. I understand that. But even then, I'm saying we don't have information. And so here we extra don't have information. So we'll see. But you guys let me know what you think. I appreciate BitBoy Crypto talking about Ripple and XRP. I like people sharing their ideas. I find that very frequently I disagree with his perspective on this stuff, but that's fine. Me having a different opinion than somebody, like, that doesn't make me like them less. It really doesn't. I promise. I'm an actual adult despite having a stupid name, Moon Nembo. I have a sense of humor, damn it. So that's all that's going on here. But do you agree with me? Do you agree with BitBoy Crypto? You have a different take? Please drop a comment below, because I would love to hear from you. Let's keep this conversation going. I'm willing to be persuaded here. Like, if Jeremy Hogan comes out and is like, Moon Lambo, you're being an idiot, stick, I'll be like, okay. If he's like, here are the reasons why, and it's compelling, I'll be like, okay, well, there you go. Because he's the one with the legal background, and so, like, when he jumps in, or Attorney James Filan, another XRP community member, or who speaks a lot, and also John Deaton, of course, and any number of lawyers within the community. I always appreciate their insights because they're coming at it from a place that the rest of us can't. And I'm not a lawyer. But still, the logic of this for me is kind of tough to follow as far as what BitBoy's claiming here. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.